I think it's your number one on Spotify.
Yes.
That was the first Topher song I heard.
Okay.
And I was just like,
Eminem, one of the first people I saw, and what really gravitated, man, Eminem, 50 Cent, a lot of these people around that time, Will Smith, right? But what really captivated me about Eminem was the fact that he was able to talk about stuff that we could consider taboo. I felt more relieved when I could be candid about certain things. But what really catapulted me to the top was when I became candid about my political standings, right? Because it was something that many people didn't hear in music, one, but two, here come from a black man. So there tends to be a stereotype about black people. So let's go, Brandon. America don't care about you, Joe. I thought that you should know. Man, it goes something about pulling back the curtains for the show that you've been putting on and recognizing that a prop can be a threat because of Alec Baldwin.
the first question I wanted to ask you. So I've dabbled in music. I love music. I've written a bunch of spoken word.
Okay.
So we can talk about politics in a second, but your music side is one that I've listened to some of your tracks. Like, I can't remember the exact name, but the Patriot one, I think it's your number one on Spotify.
Yes.
That was the first Topher song I heard.
Okay.
And I was just like, yeah, and I was like, awesome. So if you wouldn't mind, like, when did you get into rap? When did you get into music? I'd love to learn about your journey. Do you know High Res the rapper at all?
Yes, I do.
He just came on my show, talking to Zuby right now, and those guys. So I'm like, I love learning about the industry, how you came up, and so wherever you want to start that story, that's totally up to you.
Yeah, it's kind of like that Rage Against the Machine, right? Well, I started music when I was 10. Well, I won't say music, but rapping when I was 10. My dad is a blues guitarist and singer, so I kind of have it in my blood to be an entertainer. And I remember all the way back, I think there's a video of me when I was 5 years old singing in the choir. I believe I can fly. I don't know if it's banned or culturally appropriate to sing R. Kelly songs at the moment, but I don't care.
Ooh, yeah.
It will always be a staple of my youth.
Okay.
That being said.
Yeah.
But anyway, I remember learning that then I could not sing, right? So I said, I still want to participate in music, but what can I do? The alternative is rapping or some type of word, poet or something. So I said, all right, I'm going to turn to rap. My brother-in-law introduced me, whether good or bad, I think it's a positive, right?
Yeah, right.
To Eminem.
Right. Yeah.
So Eminem, one of the first people I saw, and what really gravitated, Eminem, 50 Cent, a lot of these people around that time, Will Smith, right? But what really captivated me about Eminem was the fact that he was able to talk about stuff that we could consider taboo. Like, back when I grew up, you don't talk about your mama. Right? You don't talk about what's going on in the house. As we call it, you don't air your dirty laundry.
Especially the way he talked about his mama.
Especially the way he talked about it.
Yeah.
Publicly, right?
Yes.
So I was like, man, I needed to hear that so I can know that it's possible to air your grievances, right? I just needed to hear that as a youth. Because when I grew up, man, I grew up in a single-parent household. My mom was an alcoholic. I witnessed domestic violence because she dealt with some bad people. But it's like, I used to always question my childhood, and I needed a way to express myself, right?
Yeah.
And in a healthy way.
Right.
See,
Yeah.
People do it in some unhealthy ways.
Yes.
They either turn to drugs, alcohol, or they turn to like violent situations, stuff like that. And I didn't want to do that because, I grew up in the church. And when I found music was a good way to release, it was an outlet I could use, I chose that as my medium of choice.
Yeah.
And since then, man, I felt more relieved when I could be candid about certain things. But what really catapulted me to the top was when I became candid about my political standings, right? Because it was something that many people didn't hear in music, one, but two, here come from a black man. So there tends to be a stereotype about black people.
Well, yeah, that was a question I asked Tatum when he was on the podcast, because that was the thing that gravitated me to Tatum, because I'm like, there's a black man, conservative, being bold. That's not something you see a lot of. So let me ask you about that. So you're making your music. You say, were you nervous saying like, okay, I'm going to start being political a little bit? Were you nervous that might derail your career, or walk me through that thought process of like, why you decided to be a little more political, and were you nervous about the ramifications of that?
Will you ever hear the Kill Shot Eminem diss, Machine Gun Kelly?
Have I heard that yet?
I had to give you a career to destroy.
So, yeah.
That's how I felt. I didn't have a career.
There you go. Yeah.
So there was nothing to be destroyed. So it was only up up from here, right?
Yeah, right.
So I was trying my best for the longest to be like everybody else, to kind of go with the flow, put music out that I thought people wanted to hear. But then I realized, like, people get tired of that. If you want to go, everybody want McDonald's. Otherwise, just go to McDonald's. I need to put something out there that's going to be unique to who I am and still push my values without having to compromise on those things. And that is where I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a stand right now. I don't see nobody else doing it. Not because I was trying to do something different.
Yeah.
I don't see nobody else doing it. So that shows me the importance of stepping into the arena and put my name in the hat. And man, I've been fighting ever since. I mean, I've been fighting censorship. I've been fighting against being blackballed from performance opportunities. I mean, I'm the top independent artist in Mississippi, and I get on no recognition. Nobody's talking about it except for like my man over at golly, I can't think of his name right now. He gonna shoot me if you see this podcast.
We'll edit it in later. You can just like, I'll edit it in. If you like, just shout out his name later.
No, yeah, definitely looks out for me all the time and shows me love. But mainstream media, anything like that, bro, they don't like us, and that's fine with me because it shows me that I'm resilient enough to stay true to who I am, despite having that broad acceptance that so many people long for, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that a lot of people that stay that course, eventually that break comes. I mean, you look at people like Tom McDonald. You look at people like eventually sometimes that dam does break.
Yes.
But the ones that don't stay true to their core values are the ones that always get lost in the sea. But the ones that are stick true to it, I mean, like, the future's crazy for you.
Yeah, a double-minded man is dangerous.
Unstable in all his ways.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Do you have a favorite track that you wrote?
Someone asked me this the other day. I would say The Patriot. I also say I Feel Good is one of my favorites as well. Know My Name.
Let me get more specific. Is there a rhyme that you wrote, a bar that you wrote? When you wrote this bar, you were like, oh, snap. You know what I mean? Like you wrote a bar and you're like, yes, yes. You know, like double entendre, you know, AB rhyme scheme, you know, whatever. Like, do you have a bar that you're like, yes, that you just felt good about?
If I went through my music, I could point it out. But right now, on top of my head, I can't. I think Circle Back, I said something that was interesting. Or was it Let's Go Brandon? Let's Go Brandon.
Yeah.
So Let's Go Brandon, you know, America don't care about you, Joe. I thought that you should know. Man, it goes something about pulling back the curtains for the show that you've been putting on and recognizing that a prop can be a threat because of Alec Baldwin. It was something like, I forget, it's like, man.
I'm going to find the clip and post.
Post it.
Let's go, Brandon, ayy. Let's go, let's go. Let's go, Brandon, ayy. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Joe Biden, oh yes, he must go for what he did to the 13. Just know that they'll never let go.
And then another one was gas prices so high and make a dope fiend choke. It was a lot of stuff in that verse, man, that was just really good. But yeah, that bar right there, man, was like a click, clock, bang, man. So
when you write, do you get in a flow and you just kind of like write like bar by bar, or are you able to just kind of like sketch things out in your head? I know a lot of artists will just line bar by bar, and other ones will be able to listen to a track and just write on a pen and write down a full verse. Like, how do you record?
Man, I wish I had a standard way, bro. It just all depends on my mood. You know, The Patriot, I was very meticulous bar by bar. Some other songs, it just flows out of my head, right? Am I telling a story? Am I trying to be, you know what I'm saying, battle rapper? What am I trying to do with it, right?
Yeah.
Punchline rapper, whatever. So those, my goal in the end determines kind of how I do my process.
Who's your dream collab? Or top five?
Oh, man.
Off your top five. Does that be, you're like, who's a couple guys,
man,
or artists, girl guys that you're like, man, this would be
Kanye
sick.
West, Ye, I'm calling him Ye now. I don't want to disrespect him, right?
Yeah.
Ye for sure, man. Despite whatever going on, man, I wish him the best. I would also have to say Logic. I love Logic, man, what he does. Andy Mineo, I would love to get something in with him.
Love Andy.
And then maybe, I know he's not really a rapper, but he can rap if he needs to, is John Bellion.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah. I mean, you talk about a skilled musician, bro.
Producer.
Everything.
Just everything.
Plays every instrument.
Writer, because he writes songs for different artists,
Yeah.
Rihanna and
he's
people like that.
He's like Ed Sheeran. He's like, for real, because Ed Sheeran writes for everyone else, plays all the instruments. Dude, that guy is talented. I watched a mini documentary on one of his songs that he made, and I'm like, he's telling his producer, like,
stuck using best, living and
breathing and thinking, eating and drinking, philosophizing.
Do you know John Bellion? Do you know that guy? Dude. Stud.
Yeah, dude is a straight stud, bro. So yeah, I would love to do something with him for sure.
So walk me through and let me know what's your time frame. 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
10 minutes. I got a meet and greet I forgot about.
Cool. An hour and a half. All right, a couple more questions. So you do interviews on the streets.
Yeah.
I follow your stuff. So do you get more nervous writing a song, getting it out there, or do you get more nervous when you're talking to someone in front of the camera and debating a little bit? Like, when are you more nervous debuting a new song and waiting on the ratings on the new song, or are you more nervous live in the moment talking politics?
Music, bro. I just feel more vulnerable with music. One, I've always just felt that way because it feels like if I put something out that I spent time with, like a baby, and I present it to the world and it gets smacked down, yeah, it's very personal, bro. But when I'm out here with these crazies, it's all about opinions at that point.
Yeah.
Right? I don't really care. If you don't like my opinion about something, you just don't like my opinion about it. But if you don't like my opinion about my kids, you know what I'm saying? You know how you go around like, hey, this is my son.
Yeah.
You know, imagine God coming down like, this is my son.
Yeah.
Like Jesus, like, you hear him play by his Jesus.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can play by anybody else, but don't play by my kids. So it's kind of like the same thing, man. So I'm super sensitive about it's probably why I haven't put more music out yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the gift and the curse.
Yeah.
But I figured out, man, but I always tell people, I lean toward the fact that I've built enough time to, or at least giving myself enough time to develop the skills necessary that I feel like I wouldn't put nothing bad out. I wouldn't put a bad product out. So I'm not as nervous as I used to be. But man, yeah, it's still like gut wrenching sometimes.
What's your goals for 2025? Like, what are you looking forward to? What are you trying to do? Any type of promo, shout outs, or people can follow you, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I got my fighting weight brand, as you see on me right now. We got a booth right over here at AmFest. And one of the things I'm going to do is help veterans specifically optimize their metabolic health. We got to get back in shape, man. We got to get back to fighting weight. You know, especially some of our most brilliant minds and brilliant people, man. We don't need to be dying early.
Yeah.
They're going to need us around for a long time, given the climate and circumstances that we are in. On top of that, man, I want to eventually get my Bible quiz to maybe a game show. Like called Jesus Freaks or something like that, man.
Yeah.
You know, that way, because it's difficult now to go to grocery stores because people see me coming. So it's not like a surprise, the genuine reaction anymore. It's like, oh, no, we gone. So it's hard for me to get that same content that so many people love. So I was like, you know, once something have exhausted itself, you got to figure out how to
keep changing
to the next
and
level.
evolving, and absolutely.
And that's why I'm in that evolving stage. And I'm just asking for many people just be patient with me because, guys, there's a lot coming right now.
Yeah. Where can people follow you?
Toeertown.com or go to Toeertown Music on any platform.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate you coming on. You got a meet and greet coming up. Guys, follow Topher. Topher's a great dude. His content's hilarious and good and his music's great. And so definitely make sure you follow him. Thanks for coming on the show, brother.
Appreciate it,
I
Dillon.
appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right.